Hello, Playful Warriors, and welcome to another episode of Climate for Fun. The podcast turns climate change into a laughing matter. Here's Antonio Solituro, climate scientist, writer, and comedian. I'm thrilled to have Bob Katz with me today. Bob is an author and journalist who appeared in the New York Times and many other famous publications. Welcome, Bob, and thanks for joining me. Ready to laugh at climate
Happy to
change?
happy to be with you, Antonio. Did you ask me a question that I ignored?
I just ask if you're ready to laugh at climate change.
Uh, uh, I
You
just
just
gave you
did. You
I'm
just did.
ready to chuckle.
Okay, fair enough, fair enough. Okay, let's crack on with some question then. Yeah, Bob, your last book is called "Waiting for Al Gore." Is it true that a climate denier is just a subtitle along the line of "to shut the fuck up about global warming"? No, no,
Uh,
seriously, how did you come up with this name?
um, how did I come up with the name? I've been told subsequently that it has some resonance of a
Hmm.
famous uh, play called "Waiting for Godot,"
Of course.
which you may be, which I can't claim to be a scholar about or even know that well, but there is some overlap in this sense. The plot of the novel it's a sort of hapless but very determined and well-intentioned grassroots environmental organization that I called Earth Care,
Yeah,
who has ill-advisedly committed itself to staging an international convention in rural Vermont, in the US, where they're headquartered. And their only hope that this conference may turn into some kind of success is the belief that Al Gore, the great Nobel Prize winning environmentalist, will
yeah.
arrive at the conference and to inspire the faithful audience. So they are waiting for the arrival of Al Gore, even though there's been no commitment on his part to appear. And that's sort of the unfolding of the plot. So the waiting part of it um, has to do with hope. And it has to do with environmentalists' hope to be uh, for activities to be galvanized and propelled towards success by a great personality, which is something I am personally skeptical about, and I think many activists are skeptical about that
Hmm.
a that a prominent personality, be it a Hollywood star, be it a Nobel Prize winner, be it a president or prime minister, will make the difference. That the difference is grassroots activism, which I'm sounding more sober and thoughtful than I believe is evidenced in the novel, which is a humorous novel.
Yeah, no, fair enough, fair enough. Um, so actually, it's funny that you link the waiting bit to the hope. I mean, in a sense that I'm going to tell you why. I don't know if you are aware of this, but in Spanish, I don't know how much you know about Spanish, but they use
Un
the
poquito.
same verb to to both waiting and hoping, right?
That's so esperar, or what's the word?
Esperar, esperar.
Esperar.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
like waiting and hoping. So,
That is fat.
obviously waiting for Al Gore, it sounds like, a very
This is
hopeful message.
I must commend you, Antonio. This has already, from my point of view, been a extremely valuable discussion. Seriously, I will be
Okay.
using that that insight in
Yeah,
every
okay.
interview and piece of writing. Thank you. I will
Cool,
give you
cool.
a footnote asterisk
Oh, wow.
attribution.
I'm honored. I'm honored. Yeah. Maybe you will have to write in Spanish, though.
Well, with your assistance, maybe we'll collaborate.
Yeah, why not? Why not? I know a thing or two. Anyway,
See me
so you
after
mentioned,
class. Yeah.
yeah. You mentioned healthcare, right? So your story revolves around the conference, organized by this movement. So now, unfortunately, in the real world, not many people care about what climate activists do. Some even say they are just a bunch of econuts. So the numbers tell us that we are wrong. I mean, they are wrong. Some researchers found the Extinction Rebellion movement is 12 times more productive than the Clean Air Task Force in reducing CO2 emissions. I mean, what are your thoughts on that? That's big, isn't it?
If that's a true number, and
Yeah,
it
yeah, it
doesn't
is.
need to
It
be,
is. It is.
I like the sound of it. And again, it sort of gets to something I was talking about earlier, which is uh, the salvation of the environment will, which needs to happen, obviously, will come from millions and millions of activists, not from committee. I mean, committees are ultimately responsive, you would think, uh, to the will of the people, but it's the will of the people galvanized and organized and mobilized that will lead to improvement and change. If that's the point you're getting at, and if that's what that statistic gets at, I'm delighted to hear it.
I think honestly, I generally think that we can combine these two worlds, like you did in a way. I mean, you combine activism and humor. Why not? Because and I'll tell you more. That I took part in some campaign, well, protest march, etc. And there is a need. The actual organizer of the protest, they recognize the need of make it a bit more easygoing, like a bit more fun. So actually they asked me to write a speech or anything, just to make people laugh, just to create a sense of enjoyment, because most of the times the protests are all about gloom and like darkness, and then we are all gonna die, etc. So instead you need to fill in the space with positive
A
energy,
couple
yeah?
of things. I would love to see that speech. Can I assume it's if it's translated in English, so much the better. If not, I can get it.
Yeah,
If you
yeah,
could
yeah.
send that to me, I'd
Yeah, yeah,
love to see
sure.
it. Speech. Back to my novel because I know that's what you're interested in, or at least what I'm interested in talking about. A running theme and a major theme in the novel has to do with speaking and public speaking and oratory. So as I said, at the sort of setup is that this conference, this Earth Care conference
Yeah,
that's about to happen, is
yeah,
waiting for Al Gore to arrive and become the keynote and appear as the keynote speaker. Of course, he's made no
yeah.
such commitment, and they wait and wait. At some point,
Hmm.
and this is sort of the plot of the novel, when it becomes evident that Gore indeed is not going to show up, they still have a need for some galvanizing personality. And through
Yeah,
various humorous plot devices, they wind up with a kind of blowhard um, self help guru, motivational guru
yeah.
that um, uh, whose specialty, whose shtick, if you will, out on the speaker circuit is jogging
Yeah,
as a metaphor for success in life.
okay.
His name is Henry Marks. His nickname is in the novel is his kind of um, promotional nickname in the showbiz world is Henry on your marks, which in English is sort of the phrase. I don't know if you know, it's the phrase you use to start a race. On your marks. So his
Oh, I
name.
see.
So
On
so
your
his
marks. Yeah, of course, of course. Yeah, yeah,
on your so Henry on your marks is brought in
yeah.
as the last minute substitute for Al Gore. Henry Marks has almost nothing to say of any relevance to environmentalism or climate change, but there he is about to appear, excuse me, on the stage. The one his career has been built up, as I said, talking about jogging, which is to say running not fast, running in a kind of measured um,
Killed way.
efficient way,
Yeah.
but not trying to get anywhere fast. In fact, one of his popular themes is creating your own finish line, which I put forward as a kind of joke. I mean,
Nice.
who but 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 as the conference looms, as it becomes inevitable that Henry on your marks will be the replacement on the stage for Al Gore, Henry himself undergoes a kind of revolution in thought, where suddenly, and this becomes sort of the capstone of the novel, um, taking your time, pacing yourself, all these components of jogging are not it all applicable to the climate crisis. What the climate crisis requires among the activists that he's addressing is sprinting, is going fast,
Yeah.
is not conserving anything or holding anything back. And that, again, this sounds like a didactic exercise. The novel is not, but that's the corner. So you mentioning the speech you gave, and which that you wrote, which I would like to see, speaking and the need to say important things to an audience of eager activists is at the heart of the novel.
Yeah, no, no, I agree. But let me join this discussion here on this point, because obviously you said that we need to run, right? So mostly because when every time a flash flood comes, it's going to be helpful, yeah.
Yes.
Apart from that, do you think that maybe the character slowing down, let's say, could work to calm people eco anxiety? Because is another thing, that we need to consider how to manage, especially in the younger generation. I don't know if you have eco anxiety. I might have sometimes, I don't know, but younger generation do struggle with this feeling, dark feeling, if you want to say. Maybe there is a parallel here, that you never even thought about, perhaps, I don't know.
Let me try to clarify what you're saying, that they struggle with the feeling of urgency, of desperation, of hopelessness.
Yeah, more like
What is
anxiety, climate anxiety, how would you want to call it? But the feeling of despair, that everything is gonna fall apart and we're gonna die, and it makes you feel, whoa, my God,
So,
yeah.
in answer to that, one aspect of the novel that I'm most proud of, and again, this sounds more professorial and more somber than I believe
Yeah.
the spirit of the book is at all. Again, it's a humorous novel, I think. One aspect that I'm proud of is Earth Care, the sort of hapless, well-intentioned grassroots group that's at the heart of the novel, is also we come to see that how much they mean to each other, how much the members of this group buffer the spirit, their individual spirits, how much meaning and really joy they get out of their participation, hapless as it may possibly be. And some of the more positive reviews, excuse me, I've had for the novel point to just that for all the bumbling activity that this group engages in, they energize each other, and that there is something heartening and meaningful in the group activity. And I believe that's evident in the novel. I think anybody reading it would find much to laugh at in these characters and much to envy about the camaraderie that they feel.
That's nice, definitely. Yeah. And so, though, I want to talk about another, let's say, cliffhanger, if you want to say, well, no, not cliffhanger, but surprise moments, yeah, in your novel. So while everyone is waiting for Al Gore, and perhaps, they find instead Henry, the joke thing inventor, an unexpected guest arrives, right? So a bird thought to be extinct. Yeah, so was he a subliminal message to say that true environmentalists no longer exist, or what?
That's so funny. I leave it to you to interpret that. That's an interesting interpretation. It is a sort of character just off stage, if you will, in the novel. The novel opens with a prologue about a thought to be extinct endangered species bird that I call Oswald's thrush, and that it was last seen, if it was seen anywhere, in the particular region of Vermont in the northeastern US where this conference is being held. And so there is, throughout the novel, there are various periodic sightings or presumed sightings. The bird flits in and out so quickly it cannot be certain that it's indeed accurately cited. I'd like to point
Yeah.
out, and this is, again, this may sound self-serving, but what the heck, here we go. The novel was published in late February 2024. The endangered bird, which I call Oswald's thrush, is described very specifically in the novel as having the coloration of cobalt blue and burnt orange feathering. So this was late
That's,
February, the novel was published.
yeah.
Approximately 6 weeks later, there was a sighting that blew up on the social media of the Audubon Society and all the bird watching clubs in North America. The first time ever in North America, there was sighted a thrush that had never been seen
No
on our
way.
continent before, and it was
What?
described as blue and orange, almost the exact
You're
same.
scaring me now, right? You're
Well,
scaring me, Bob.
I'll send you the link. I'm not making it up. After we get off,
You got
I'll,
some powers there, yeah?
well, I
What's
don't
going
know,
on
but
here?
certainly a coincidence to some degree, maybe some prescience on my part. Either way, possibly a promotional boost. I'll take it.
Yeah, I mean, you should pay the copyright to those guy, to that guy, to that bird. Anyway, that sounds interesting. I really need to look it up.
I'll send you the
Very,
links.
yeah,
Yeah.
definitely do. Please do. So let's talk about, recognition as well. Like, so your book won the Best Political Humor Awards. So what's your secret besides, your superpower? So what's your secret? Quoting Donald Trump? That's why you won?
um, Quoting Donald Trump. Which particular speech of Donald Trump are we talking about?
So you
I am
chose,
in.
you
I am
pick,
in.
you pick.
I am innocent. It's a witch hunt. What are we talking about here? No, truthfully, I'm very proud of the book. It's gotten, and I'm pleased to be hosted by you, but regrettably, I don't think it's gotten nearly the attention or the readership that I might hope for. But it's new in the process. It
Yeah,
was. I got a little boost. The Yale Climate Connection just
yeah,
recently
I
named it
saw
one
it.
of 12 books to read this summer. So now,
Nice.
whether that and I rely on you and Antonio to take it and blast it into the stratosphere.
Of course, I will try to do my best. I don't have your superpower, but obviously I can do whatever I can. No, but yeah, that's definitely an interesting book, that's for sure. So let's go ahead and move to the more weird, fun part of the meeting. So if you could tell me one thing about climate change that makes you laugh, other than Donald Trump denying that it exists.
Once I, I knew you were going to ask that question. I spent a lot of time trying to think of an answer and came up with nothing so far. So let's see if
Fair enough.
what about um, I think if there is an aspect about the politics of climate change, and
Yeah,
particularly in the United States where I'm based, where the government, where the Supreme Court, I don't know if you read, just recently made it harder and harder and harder to regulate pollution and emissions. I would have to laugh at ourselves. It's not a big belly laugh. It might be a smirk, but
yeah,
laughing. There's a part of laughing at ourselves and our own folly that
yeah, true.
that. But as I say, it's a quiet laugh, not an
Yeah, it's a
uproarious.
bitter irony, let's say. Yeah, obviously,
Yeah.
it's always like that when you talk about this stuff. So, how about one fun thing people can do to fight climate change, other than reading your book, obviously?
One fun thing. Before I answer,
People can do.
can I ask you what some good answers you've had from others might be? And maybe I'll
Oh,
steal
wow,
one of
that's I'm
those.
not prepared for that. I mean, I
Okay.
don't remember,
Okay.
but I guess I don't know, maybe cleaning beaches or
I,
join a climate activist group. Yeah, just top of
I
my
would
head.
say that I was just going to say that. And again,
Okay.
true to the themes of the novel, be involved with people who have a sense of humor because a sense of humor is indispensable to sustainability. And by sustainability, there, I mean sustaining your energy for the fight ahead.
Yeah, like a spiritual sustainability, the fourth
Precisely,
dimension of sustainability. Yeah.
precisely.
Cool. So, okay, now even we raise the bar even more, right? So, obviously, feel free to skip it, or maybe you can send me later if you're not ready for this. But if you could pick a joke, maybe even for your novel, if you're happy to share any joke, like a one line, could be a one liner, or maybe a funny word you invented in your book, or something that it's a joke about climate related, or sustainability
Okay,
related.
okay. This is out of my novel. Regrettably, I can't quote it. I don't remember the exact words, so I'll
That's
paraphrase.
all
But
right.
one of the subplots in my novel is there's a logging industry group who proponents of cutting down forests and
Yeah.
developing forest areas for commercial production is sort of the nemesis of Earth Care, and they're constantly putting forth advertising campaigns to try to undercut climate legislation. In the novel, I have them in one of their campaigns saying that we should that mankind should be only responsible for protecting animals to the degree that they protect us. And
That's
it's
weird.
meant.
That's
I'm glad.
interesting.
Yeah, uh, uh, that's part of
So,
the
like,
the industry
which
pushback takes that turn. Yeah.
yeah, I mean, did you make an example of an animal who's protecting us, or who should protect us?
Well, it
I
has
don't
to
know.
do with the endangered bird, the Oswald's thrush. That there's
Oh, I see.
you know,
Okay.
uh,
Oh, well, that's a very creative one. Yeah. Kudos to you. Okay, so now it's time for quiz. Who wants to be climate aware? Are you ready for this?
no, but I'll proceed as if I'm ready.
As ready as you can be. Yeah, unfortunately, you won't be millionaire by the end of the quiz, or any money in your
Are you
pocket.
sure about that?
Well, you never know in life, but with your superpower as well. Anyway, okay, right. So you got three questions, and for each question, you got three answers to pick from, right? Okay.
Excellent.
So first question: by eating decomposing animal leftovers,
I'm
vultures
laughing already.
avoid the release. Sorry.
I'm laughing already.
Okay. Right. Vultures avoid the release of carbon emissions in the atmosphere. Now, the EPA calculated the carbon saving achieved by all vultures in the Americas. My question is, what is that equivalent to? Option A, taking 2.6 million cars off the road. Option B, taking 2.6 million activists off the road by running them over. Option C, taking 2.6 million birds off the world. What's your option? What's your answer?
Do, if I do you, I'm gonna take a guess. Do you know the answer? So
Yeah,
you
yeah, I
would,
do. I do. I
I
do.
I would go for A.
Correct. Correct. Well done. Well done.
All right.
One is
So I
done.
get to go on to the
Okay.
next question.
Yeah. Second question. Who said that more people are dying of bad climate change policies than they are of actual climate change? Option A, Al Gore, after attending the Earth Care Climate Conference. Option Option B,
You're giving me
Bob
a
Katz.
hint.
Sorry.
I said, you're giving me a hint. Keep going.
Yeah, yeah. Option B, Bob Katz, after signing up for JogThink. Option C, Vivek Ramaswamy. I think I pronounced it right. I don't know. What's your answer?
Well, with a footnote and asterisk, I'll go for option A, having to do with Al Gore, who um, who may yet appear at the Earth Care Conference, and maybe that's what he'll say.
That's a very alternative, credible answer, but the answer was right, was C.
Oh, can I
That's all
try?
right. It's all right.
Can we try it again?
Yeah, of course.
No, no.
What's your answer? Anyway, last question. Yeah, just focus. Huh? Okay. What is climate self? Yeah. What is climate self? Option A, the part of you that is fully aiming the air conditioning fan towards yourself. Option B, the part of you that is fully aware, entangled, and reckoning with the reality of climate change. Option C, the part of you that is fully convinced that climate change is everyone's fault except yourself.
We should have music in the background while I ponder these options. But I'll go for option B.
Well done, well done. 2 out of 3. Well done. You've done well.
All right.
Well done, well done.
Great,
Okay,
Antonio.
that's the end of this Climate for Fun episode. Thank you so much for your fun contribution, Bob.
Happy to be with you, and thanks for hosting me. Keep up the great work.
Thanks to you. Thanks to you for taking part in this. And thanks to whoever tuned in today. Next episode will be in a month as usual. In the meantime, remember to fight climate change one laugh at a time. Ciao. Ciao, Bob.
Ciao. Ciao, Antonio.